Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for May 20th, 2024 from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. Kim and I started out the day by hiking the Lakeview Church Trail. We had 45 species with nothing new but a pretty good list of warblers, including 15 blackpoll warblers. We also did a quick run through the Firehouse Woods, and the highlight was a mourning warbler. After that, we walked the loop at the Owl Woods. This black and white warbler posed nicely for us. We had 45 species at the Owl Woods, including another mourning warbler and a Canada warbler. We got over to the Hawk Watch around 9 a.m. and I took this photo from up on the platform, although we spent most of the time viewing from back near the parking lot, and I'll get into the reason why in a minute. Overall, the weather today was sunny, though a bit hazy with a high layer of clouds. The winds started out very calm and variable, and eventually settled into a light northeast lake breeze. Here's a garter snake that I saw over near the bathroom building. We saw some small groups of migrating cedar waxwings. Here we have a large dark raptor with a large head. This is a bald eagle. Looking at the plumage, we see a very dark brown head and underside to the body, and some white underneath, especially in the wing pit area. This is a fresh juvenile bald eagle. Another highlight of the day was seeing this group of 7 sandhill cranes, and we haven't really been seeing that many cranes recently, so this was really cool to see. The reason that we couldn't be up on the Hawk Watch platform was that the state police helicopter was coming, so the DEC could do some bucket training. What is bucket training, you may ask? Well, they use a thing called a Bambi bucket, which hangs below a helicopter, and they fill it up with water, and they use it for firefighting. Here you can see the bucket filled with water after filling it up in Braddock Bay. They placed cones in one of the fields to use as a target to practice dumping the water as they got over the cones. From Braddock Bay Park, we had 50 species, including the first of season black-billed cuckoo. By 1 o'clock, all the helicopter excitement had died down, and we headed over to Frisbee Hill to see if we could pick up any of the flight, but I think the lake breeze had pushed any flight further inland, and we hardly saw anything at all. But we had a good time because we had a great group of people. Here in this photo is me and Kim in the center, and then on the right is my dad, who rode up on his motorcycle along with another birding friend from back home, Doc. From Frisbee Hill, we had 25 species. I had a total of 87 species today. The only new species for the season today was black-billed cuckoo. Taking a look at the hawk count report for our migrant raptor totals, today we had 70 turkey vultures, 12 bald eagles, 8 northern harriers, 50 broad-winged hawks, and 3 red-tailed hawks for a total of 143 migrating raptors. That brings the May total to 12,299 and the season total to 64,902. Taking a look at the forecast for tomorrow, they're calling for partly cloudy skies with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible, a high in the low 80s, so the warmest day so far this season. Winds southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour, so that's a great wind direction and a pretty good speed. My only concern would be if it ends up being on the lighter end of that the lake breeze might kick in kind of early. If it stays a little stronger, we may hold off the lake breeze longer. I think it's pretty likely we'll get the lake breeze at some point during the day, and if that happens and we lose the flight line, we'll move into Frisbee Hill and try to pick up the flight there, but it's possible that it will push in even farther. Although it looks like later in the day, maybe the winds will strengthen, so sometimes it's possible that the lake breeze kicks in, pushes the birds out of sight, and then the southwest winds overpower it, and we end up rushing back over to the platform and picking up a late day flight. So we'll just have to keep an eye on what the winds do. And obviously this time of year, a lot of people might come out on southwest winds like this, hoping for kites, especially Mississippi kites. But hey, we'll take a swallow-tailed kite too. For Wednesday, it's looking partly cloudy early with scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon, and gusty winds and small hail are possible along with those. A high of 83, and again, southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So kind of the same thing that I said for tomorrow. It's a good wind direction and it's an okay speed. The only concern is if it's too light, we may get the lake breeze. And for Thursday, it's looking like rain showers early and then mostly cloudy with a high in the low to mid 70s and westerly winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So I'd expect light, maybe moderate migration for Thursday. All right, another action-packed day, getting out to a few spots in the morning, the Church Trail, the Firehouse Woods, and the Owl Woods. Some really nice morning birding still this time of year as we still have the warblers passing through, although we're starting to come up on the end of the migration. It's always a sign when we start seeing so many blackpoll warblers that it's the beginning of the end. Getting over to the Hawk Watch, we had some early migration there with the favorable winds. Then that kind of slowed down with the lake breeze, but we had a lot of entertainment with that helicopter bucket training. And then getting over to Frisbee Hill, we just had a great group of people hanging out, and we had a lot of fun sitting in the shade there and chatting and looking at a very empty sky for non-existent hawks, but that's okay. We're coming up on the end of the season and we had a lot of fun, and it looks like we have some hopefully good days coming up in the next few days, so this might be a chance to get some final big flights before we wrap up the season here in another week and a half or so. So I hope to see you out in the field or up on the Hawkwatch platform. From Lyco Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.